Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, and wherever they're watching this video, I happen to tell you that got big, good news. That Gina Carano, who played Cara Dune for the first two seasons of the Disney Plus The Mandalorian Star Wars spin-off series, was fired for Disney due to controversial comments between US and Germany, was fighting settled a lawsuit with Disney for 4 goddamn years. Holy crap, Lois! This is might be the biggest heartbreaking news of the entertainment industry. Between the Paramount Skydance merger was completed, and now this is might be the best day ever. And like, holy, this is wow! I gotta say this might be the best day ever. Hooray! Woo! But man, I must say, congratulations, Mr. Gina Carano. You are you finally set a lawsuit, and man, oh man, I hope it's going to be back to the acting career. But I think the reason that Gina Carano was becoming the most toxic actress of all time, not yes, Amber Heard, Blake Lively close second, but this most become this most toxic actress. And looking back, and now it's so finally returned after 4 years of absence. And the problem was pretty gone to move away to do focus more or less personal stuff and like doing the low profile stuff. But since Gina Carano was returned for the bigger plans, we wanted to continue doing the acting career, and especially the return for the season 4 of the Mandalorian series. But here's a report from the Deadline had to say ahead of this September trial date. Seriously, it's a 1 month away, but he already set a lawsuit. Anyway, Disney and Gina Carano haven't put down the lightsabers over the former MMA fighter. Yes, this is it. Yes, MMA fighter who also had another actress who've been close relationship, but that we will talk about it in a second or minute or so. More than a year, this mitigation lawsuit over her 2025 fire from the Mandalorian over the political postings that is um, controversial comments, if you mentioned earlier. In a joint filing today in the federal court, the Star Wars series star and the Bob Iger run Conclave asked for the Elon Musk backing legal actions to be dismissed with the company claim of a blended need. It said the president of the federal rule of the civil protect 41818 to 2 II, whatever it is, Prophet Gina Carano, on the other hand, sorry that on the hand, one hand, in the defense, the Walt Disney Company, Lucasfilm Limited LLC, and Huckleberry Industry US Inc., and the other by the through the unsigned consort, hereby since separates that is this action and all claims, including all defense, assents the rent, to be dismissed with prejudice, say lawyers before both sides in a short point, but to put the point document. The judge will we haven't had to sign up to on request, but this is the de facto drone and dust of a far galaxy far away, and here come with and here at home with a distant wind for the opening consent Carano. While the note this specific details on the settlement will has been revealed, like to where she's getting her the rebel shot through Calderone back row as a despite any of the million in damage she was seeking. Disney and Carano clearly are back in the business. To that, a source close to Carano told me she is happy with how things will deal with. Online earlier today, the defend to be a defend Carano posting someone creeping at that time with these scary emojis, and the truth shall we free you free. Hoping this brings to some healing to the force. Later, she later put in a statement thanking Musk, a man I never had met, who did a good um, samurai deed for me in funding my lawsuit. Carano added, I'm excited to flip the page and move into the next chapter. My devices remain in the arts. With Isabel, I hope you will join me. And we'll talk about in a sec. And I'm going to do the message in a second in a second. On the other hand, in this era of need of blending of the ring kissing in the face microphones, the House of Mouse once again today about the trying to be pleased, raise their tone, and happy to put out here there since Donald Trump took back the White House last November. Yeah, I know that in the main, this is the same person who calling the Stephen Colbert was a better ratings than Jimmy Fallon and Kimmel because since the late show with Stephen Colbert was canceled before the Paramount Skydance merger was completed, I know there'd be people hating about like, oh, they're boycott Paramount Skydance for obvious reasons, like, oh, this is they canceled the late show because of blame Donald Trump and David Allison boycott that S word. But for me, I don't trust. I'm not Trump supporter. I told trust Donald Trump. He is the evil person that isn't Michael Eisner or David Zaslav. But this is the most evil person I hate, really don't trust, and I really know why people about the this is make no sense. So here's continue on. The tone when in reforms late in 2024 when Disney paid the then president of the United States elect for $50 million to settle another lawsuit in what is seen of the shakeout capitulation. And yes, like if you know another lawsuit before the Paramount Skydance merger deal was completed because he had a lawsuit with Donald Trump and CBS News was the CBS News operations related to the 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris. So this is not a good sign, Mr. Trump, and I don't trust him. Anyway, today, let's continue. Today, they're trying to make it a more definitively. I don't know what to say, but let's continue. The Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm are pleased to announce that we have reached an agreement with Gina Carano and resolved the issues in the pending lawsuits against of the companies. A spokesperson said on Thursday, was yesterday. Miss Carano was always well respected for her directors, co-stars, and staff, and he should work hard at craft her craft while treating other colleagues and with kindness and respect. In case you haven't any doubt who is the victor here, let me the last sentence for the Disney and Lucasfilm stated for you. Hard. We, with this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to the identify opportunity to work together with Miss Carano in the near future. Boom! Holy crap! That adding them boom in the end. This is pretty much what it's about. All right, this is a really different tone for last year when Disney insists has said before that the ex martial arts fighter lost her high profile Disney series gig 4 years ago because in the decision to propensate test terrified by their Holocaust by comparing criticism and political consent to the example of millions of Jewish people, notable and not Chaucer's, was the final star for Disney. Or how in February 21st, 2021, this, 2021 was pretty convenient. This date was a 21st, so there's that. Just after the second season of the Corona co-starring the Mandalorian was over on Disney Plus, Lucasfilm put up the piece public slapdown for the relationship with the actress. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm. There is no art plans to her to the future. Nevertheless, her social media posts derailing people based on the cultural and religious entities are abhorrent and are acceptable. Yeah, I know that because of the look before 2 years. This is 2 years before the Israel war between Hamas and Palestine. That public controversy way. This is many support Israel people like, and same goes for the Melissa Barano who fired for the Screen 7 because of the controversial comments with supporting Israel people. This is I know that I not no offense, Melissa. I really love this because he continued to work, but unlike Gina Carano, he still continued working films like Abigail and You Monster. That's both are masterpiece, horror classics, because he's a screen queen, not supporting Israel. That not isn't Gina Carano, so that's fine. Marissa Pereira is fine, but this did not. Um, cited protections of lean political statements for posts of the Meloni lead Petro Pascal. Yes, Petro Pascal, the Mr. Reed Richards himself. I'm not sure that it didn't age well because he had a affair with Vanessa Kirby during the prank. I'm sorry. Let's go back. And Luke Watson himself and the Maroney season two finale guest, Mark Hamill, Curano, February 2024, War of Determination and the Discriminate suit, who claimed she's in can because he would back down from her congressional appearance and postings. Defend made it clear that that only one authenticity um, in thought, speech, and action that was acceptable in their empire, and that for who dared to question and fail or failed to fail fully community complete who complete who not to be tolerated. Read of the jury trial seeking complaint, and so it wasn't with Girardo. Now it's going to be in a whole new matchup after for the ex UTA with split actress who auditioned drama her long after the Disney and Lucasfilm did in February 2021, who truly learned into their real estate beliefs since the big slip, as well as in the starring in the Daily Wire and Breitbart News backing projects. I'm not sure that Breitbart project news projects and Daily Wire is pretty much the anti-woke and mostly the anti-woke content, but I digress. And Kirano and her Musk pay for lawyers won the round after round for in court for the past 80 months. Gerardo will be part of the film California filming Maroney movie, which should get the already promised um, roles in the new Star Wars series and other full-length feature films in the franchise. Might not be forced, but might not be either way, as the motherboard said. But we like will, will likely know the truth in due time. Wow, I gotta say this is might be the turning point. I mean, I know Gina Carano wants to be the former MMA fighter and martial arts art, artist, and he been in of the acting career for a lot. He did a few films, didn't a whole profile films. But a second, sorry that. He had an acting career. He had a few high profile films like Hallway with Steven Soderbergh, the sixth Fast and Furious movie, and of course first Deadpool movie. But the reason that Gina Carano was pretty much mostly the C-list actress. He appeared in a few indie direct-to-video movies, like mostly from the Bruce Willis and Robert De Niro, and especially Dave Bautista, and I think Bruce Brosnan. I'm not sure, but this is pretty much the all brand. And after that, he fell away, and he had to do with mostly in a more personal side and focused kind of brand. But even unlike Melissa Barrett, who continued acting after the post Screen Seven fired, with probably with Abigail and you Monster, but this did not. I mean, take for example, who co-star Kate O'Brien, who had an acting career similar to what did one had. He happened also have the martial arts artist and also the bodybuilder profession training certificate in. It was a police officer, and he also began the acting career who did a few TV shows like The Walking Dead, Black Lightning, Agents of Shield, Westworld, and as well with a Maroney playing Aiden Kane, who co-star friend Gina Carano, who well unfortunately it fired in season two, but he's fired, but it didn't take place for season three, but it might return to season four by Call of Dune, but who knows? And also appeared in the and that's that also in 2021 both films had the project that Meg PI and the Rookie series, but I know he also did a film career who had identity as a small role in the Jason Momoa Sweet Girl movie, and eventually do in another Disney related project, and then the Watch Quantumania will have a supporting act. And two films, and also the next year two films, Love Lies Bleeding alongside um, 1 second. Kristen Stewart, and it was from A24, of course, and Twisters, it stars alongside Daisy Edgar Jones, and yes, pre-Superman fame David Corswet. That's what no. That was a great film, as well as the supporting act in the Mission Impossible and the Final Reckoning movie, and another film called also from the same studio that Edgar Wright's The Running Man was to have a female lead alongside Graham Powers. So this is why this career is fine, and he also marrying Kylie Chi, who happened to because he happened to married in middle in July 2020 because in the pandemic was already started, but I would respect that acting career would have between Kate O'Brien and Gina Carano. This is might become the more successful, and this did not. I mean, I know no, I respect Kate O'Brien. He had appeared in two Disney related projects. Well, counting three: The Agent Seals and The Mandalorian and Aquaman and the Wasp: Quantumania. That's a no. I know this is the two was from Marvel and one from Star Wars. So, but Gina Carano was pretty much a part of the blacklisted actress you probably know. It's not John Travolta or Mel Gibson or any other actors, but or especially Steven Seagal, but who knows? But but the reason that he hadn't know the statement about the heartbreaking moment, so here's a full statement. I haven't come to an arrangement with Disney and Lucasfilm, which I believe is the best outcome to both parties involved. I hope this brings some healing to the folks. I want to extend my deeply most heartfelt gratitude to Elon Musk, a man I never met, and also he's a friend of Donald Trump and a founder of Twitter, later X. Seriously, who did a good seminar deed for me and in the funding my lawsuit. Thank you, Mr. Musk and X, aka Twitter, for backing my case and asking for nothing for return. And to my lawyers in the scout shop who welcome me through the and unknown territory, thank you for your wisdom and guidance. I am humbled and grateful to God for His love and the grace to in this outcome. I want to thank. Oh, what's it? Okay. I'd like to thank you for all the your unrelated support throughout my life and career. You all be a heartbeat that has kept my story alive, and I hope to make you proud. I am excited to flip the page and move into the next chapter. My device remains in the arts. But is so well. I hope you join me. Yes, I'm smiling. And I'm smiling too because I know that Gina Carano will might return to his season 4 of The Mandalorian. Maybe and pretty much even Keith O'Brien was big focused on the film career who had to do in the schedule contract, but we might return to Alien Kane someday. But this, I hope he will return to the Call of Dune role from a Mandalorian series for season 4, as well as Petro Pascal because he had too busy doing a lot of projects. I mean, what is this? I know the Fantastic Four first steps was pretty much a disappointing box office despite the good reviews. I mean, look, the public the PR stunt between Petro Pascal is probably like an anxiety between about their affair with Nissa Kirby. He got because he's pregnant at the time, but who cares? I know. I hope so. Petro Pascal might return. Or have an active scheduled contract between a different kind of products. The Last of Us series, there's some film projects, and the uh, promo circuit. Like they did mostly from stuff. But you know what? I don't care. Maybe Petro Pascal might return as a role in this for season 4 of The Mandalorian, especially Katie O'Brien. So I hope this will we but I hope to see what happens next. And I think that Gina Carano's career was pretty much a downfall since for 4 years, and it might return to acting. Maybe hire a new agent, acting agent. Who knows? But the industry now is all going to another article over at WarReal.com, and he said this, and despite the of Aspari did this in before. So he said, looks like Lucasfilm and Disney has surprises settled the lost legal standout with Gina Carano. Ended the post Melanie fallout with a mutual agreement, no bombshell, no corporate drama, and Dustin goes door resolution. What I think, what I think, what I find most interesting about this statement is is that Disney is now speaking warning about Granado, hinting at a future collaboration for the actress once public outside and humiliate by then. The solar privated feels like Disney cracked open a door that many might assume related to the Star Wars return. Uh, to the Star Wars return. The optics of the cinema suggests a studio that didn't want the kids go to court with court to war spotlight bright burning bright. Disney might have quick that the courtroom shutdown could do more reproduction damage that quiet make peace. I'd be interested to find out if the ever leaks how much they decide to pay Carano as a part of the settlement. I bet it's much higher than you think. In 2021, Carano was a famous fire from the Star Wars spin-off series, The Mandalorian, for what Disney deemed the offensive social media post. Soon after her firing, Carano then announced that she would be suing in Disney for the unlawful termination with Elon Musk backing her legal fees. And it said the truth is as I was hunting down for everything. I posted every post I liked because I was not aligned with the acceptable narrative of the time. My words were completely twisted and demonized me as an alt-right wing extremist. Uh, it was a bullying smear campaign. It made it as science destroy and making an example of me. Gina Carano, Rustin lost in her role with the make a popular series for what Disney called offensive social media posts. Now this is gonna be now this is before this back in 2018. Like I don't know, this is a similar in 2018 that James Gunn was fired for Guys Against because of the offensive social media posts on Twitter, but he deleting. But he came back to do a finish in 2022-2023 with the Guardians and Galaxy Volume 3 because he agreed to do a return, doing it what finish off. And then eventually he became the coach head of DC Studios over Warner Brothers. So that's that. And the reason I know that I love James Gunn better than the Zack Snyder because he's a hack, but I trust James Gunn. But yeah, day reminder, go watch my anti-Snyder channel. There's that. Link is good. Anyway, meanwhile, here are the events that have a point towards the hypocrisy of a co-star Pedro Pascal. Again, the most likable actor alongside Chris Pratt and Jack Black on social media posts where he compared Trump to was to that. Corona indirect tactical Pascal comments. Hollywood says they support female reciprocity in the equal rights. Why then they were my co-stars permitted to my speaking and without harassment and reiteration course of termination, but I wasn't afford the same right to excuse my freedom of speech. So what did Carano said excited to get fired from the Mandalorian. Disney claims Carano theorized of the Holocaust by the Syrian Post, implying that today's conscripts like a tree like Jews in Germany. Um, Jews are not were beaten in the streets, but not up by soldiers, but but by their neighbors, even by children. The post said, because history is edited, most people today I don't realize that um, to get to a point where soldiers could easily run up thousands of Jews. Their comment that first made of the own neighbors that hate of them simply were being Jews. How is that they any different between from hating someone for their political views? And yeah, you know, look, man, this is not the look. And pretty much the wokeness becomes spread on the internet, like Nerdtronic, Geeks and Gamer, The Quarantine, and Starfix TV, and all others. And especially more recently, our good buddies, CU Jake and uh, and Jake Ali over at CU Jake Media, and Justin Bell. And Apollo, I know he had a lot of controversy because of probably the widespread woke online content related to wokeness or media entertainment industry between all the woke and get woke or broke thing. But I know the after box office failures, like Terminator Dark Fate, flopped the box office because this movie came really co-distributed by Paramount and 20th Century Fox, later 20th Century Studios under Disney. But I know this movie's going to be more wokeness. Oh, I got, and even another Charlie Angels remake was pretty much was Elizabeth Banks was directing, but it flopped. And no one, because Kristen Stewart doing all return to indie things, and now people are like, oh yeah, and I know Elizabeth Banks also directed Cocaine Bear. That was a funny movie, am I right? But still, I know Charlie Angel's movies suck, and Don't Call Me Angel was pretty much a mediocre song. But check out Todd the Shadow's review um, of that the god awful song. Even include the Wednesday Addams reference into because since Wednesday season 2 on Netflix came out 2 days ago, because he's a Wednesday, my dudes. Anyway, but even also Mulan remake was released in 2020 because of pandemic and all that stuff. Oh, and Birds of Prey movie flopped because before pandemic, it came at the same time as another movie called Sonic the Hedgehog. It did more successful, but before pandemic. This is maybe the get woke go girlfriend, and I think this is maybe know this dumbest thing. And more recently, Disney attempted doing more female live action movies related to female characters like the Little Mermaid and of course Snow White, starring everyone's least favorite actress that people can act because he's now acting now in the theater works mostly is Razor Sigler. And boy, that didn't. And yes, this is the same person who began an acting career with the West Side Story, Steven Spielberg's West Side Story movie, but it flopped. But no one, because the people care about when to see a Spider-Man No Way Home instead. But I think that's the reason that Rachel Zegler was not a really good actress. But at least other than the rules, we have one of the supporting actors. There's that. Anyway, um, but still, the problem about box office failures and the cancellations, like, oh, this is pretty much a get woke or broke thing. People, no one cares about this. I mean, the Sandman series is canceled because of the accusations between the Neil Gaiman, or whatever the name is, who's is creator of the Sandman comic series from DC Comics, and unfortunately, Netflix decided to shorter in different parts, that like did with the Wednesday and Stranger Things over at Netflix. Have anyone noticed this trend? Yeah, I know. Netflix wanted to do it in more like a different kind of chapters, like mostly when the audience wanted when seeing that. But otherwise, like anyone, like many of people, wokesters and more pro-Trump supporters, like many people didn't watch this movie or TV shows, and probably like it thought them like, oh, this movie, I don't trust these companies. It flopped. No one cares. But for me, I think this pretty much the upall like the gay woke or woke movement was not getting old. I mean, the Snow White remake was flopped because of a Walking Man movie beat on the box office. Yes, a Walking Man was the DC Statham starring movie, was action movie, was written by Sylvester Stallone and of course David Ayer, and it was based off the Chuck Dis's comic book series that people know. He is also a creator of a Riververse, so and I really love that again. Steve Jake and along with buddy Chuck Crusade, who's pretty much a huge Riververse fan. So anyway, but I really know that the box office failures need to go away, and I mean the problem about the mostly the female stars, like pretty much the only good hit was not in Move Away and not anti-feminist. The only film was Bobby. Greta Gerwig's Bobby movie was gone ton breaking the box office. It was become the highest grossing Warner Bros. Film of all time, beating Harry Potter and the Harry Potter movie, final Harry Potter movie. And I think that it deserved that the stars like Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling deserve better, especially Ken and Bobby too. But we will see. But and then pretty much the all under wokeness. But still, let's continue on. The actress poking fun of the people then using pronouns of the then Twitter buyers, saying the pronouns like beep, bop, boop. This sounds like the R2D2 way. That made no sense. But public instead she put out the apologies, but she refused. Can I do my own research? She told him. Meanwhile, the Lucasfilm requested she go on the Silk call with 40 old colleagues who call her on social media. She refused. I think it's a bit abusive that you want to the top to 14 people, 40 people. Um, a lot of them have been slandering me. I don't feel like that I would really deserve this. Corrado career was his rising. So yeah, this is. I think this is a problem. He hates one. Corrado hates Disney and Lucasfilm, but now he's back together. I mean, he later apologized. So that's that. Corrado's career. Anyway, to continue on, the final statement is the final thing is the Corell's career was a rising in Hollywood in the action star in one of the most popular shows in all the streaming. Her previous credits in Steven Soderbergh's Haraway, yeah, as I mentioned, Haraway, Fast and Furious 6, Deadpool, and then Force Fire, Rose stopped coming. Since 2021, Carano's career as a real handling into the in editorial things, started by the mainstream. She's found the read first of the at the Daily Wire. Yes, the same company who Polygon, writing by the Ben Shapiro and Brett Cooper was solved. Producing and starring the embarrassing 2022 Western Terminal Pirate. Yeah, it was a terrible film, but I've heard this might release on home video or like it's pretty much released on Tubi, but anyway, also the great spot of the Running Wild and the Bear Grylls, yes, Disney owns show because Disney not only naturally generated thing because channel because after Disney bought 20th Century Fox media assets later 20th Century Studios, 2020 yes, her screaming presence has been admirable, and yeah, but hey, Terry O'Brien's career was fine because he didn't got racist or problems like he had to do any great films like well, Life Spring, Twisters, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and of course the upcoming Edgar Wright's The Running Man movie, and especially the other great movie TV shows like The Walking Dead, C Nation, Black Lightning, The Agents of Shields, Westworld, The Mandalorian, and The Rookie. I don't care. I don't know. This Carol O'Brien's career was pretty much okay, but Gina Carano was not Carol O'Brien. It's not any taking him seriously. Between this and that actress, he had to work for the three different Disney projects. Well, two of which were Star Wars and one of which was Star Wars and the two of which for Marvel. And yeah, I disagree with that. So the reason that Gina Carano need to wanted to return to acting even after on hiatus break. So if you're in Marino, I hope Gina Carano will be returned to acting for the fourth or might be reprise her role as Cara Dune from fourth season of The Mandalorian. It has worked. We'll see, but this series is going to be a big comeback. This isn't now going to be a big comeback. Oh no, no, this is going to be the huge comeback for Gina Carano. I hope to see what happens in 2026 and 2027. It might appear in the D23 Expo with a special and surprise appearance in the after the announcement might return for acting, or neither might be a reprisal role announced the reprisal role as Color Dune for the fourth season and the Mandalorian. Who knows? Maybe Kate O'Brien or Pedro Pascal might return as a fourth season Mandalorian, despite having scheduled contract and had to do in acting roles in different kind of acting roles. Like, yeah, I think the Kate O'Brien's career was pretty much busy, and so Pedro Pascal also having a lot of projects. Like this is a fresh off of the underperformance, box office underperformance, the Fantastic Four first steps. But I still love that movie, especially Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, and Joseph Krim from Stranger Things fame. I love that show. I hope the final season, fifth and final season will be come out sooner or later, but we will see in this year. But still, I hope. Thank you. So Gina Carano, thank you for being all out for quite some time. And sincere apologies. I will know that we are stand with Gina Carano. we're not taking other take any gay woke or bro wokeness or political views or controversial comments or the fire like his social media did in like did James Gunn fire for Guardians and Galaxies 1 and 3 because of the offensive social media post. But Gina Carano is not James Gunn. He's a professional former MMA fighter turned actress. Also, Gina Carano, who also Kate O'Brien, who has over similar acting experience, had an experience. We was a martial arts artist and bodybuilder and a police officer. Yes, really. Um, but the difference between that actress, Kate O'Brien, and this is one that's going to be a turning point. Gina Carano might be come back to do acting, more acting roles. Maybe doing a focus on the Marilonia stuff or the non or project, or might be work produce acting, doing the acting on the other projects, mostly indie A24 stuff and more like more like a more focused type of stuff like streaming service, like mostly for movies like Netflix and Amazon SGM and especially HBO Max. And like did with Kate O'Brien, he did a lot of more blockbusters, action, and indie dramas. Love Lies Bleeding was pretty much the great film with Kristen Stewart. He is pretty much the playing a bodybuilder, and that's what he's excited about. Gina Carano needs to serve better. If you not like to say her co-star Kate O'Brien, one might be the right, but Gina Carano, he might return to acting, maybe in the season 4 of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. We'll see. But this is the biggest day ever, and I gotta say, I stand with Gina Carano. I stand with him, her. I really am respecting acting career, but if you want to know, the acting career was pretty much low point. But it's not even pretty much he was a blacklisted. Like other actors like Steven Seagal and and especially um, Mel Gibson and all others and Mickey Rourke. But I think that's not even an actress, but even problem with acting career Hollywood have gone a lot of controversial ways. Mel Gibson has said the anti-Semitic words, but doing the production, but he had doing the production of the Passion of the Christ. We haven't heard that the sequels to come out in 2027. There's to be 2 sequels. Yeah, the trend of the different sequels, like crappy rabbit crap movies on Netflix, that probably 2 movies, including director's cut. So but I hope the Passion of the Christ sequels will be similar way, but I hope it's going to be good. Even though the God critics was a lot of problems. But and yes, this is from and they're probably distributed by Lionsgate, but we'll see. But for me, Gina Carano, welcome back. We miss you so much. I will miss you for the time, for instance, the minor only season 4, and especially the being an absence of season 3 of the Mandalorian. If you want, in Gina Carano want to return to acting, who knows? But maybe the Force will live on forever. The Force, I mean, Cara Dune will legacy. Her character, Cara Dune, will putting character will remain for now. The Force may be, and that's it. That's it. And I think the lesson learned is we pretty much the hashtag I stand with Gina Carano because this is pretty much a new hashtag. I stand with Gina Carano. Hashtag I stand with Gina Carano. I want to know that if the Gina Carano might return from the Star Wars franchise as Cara Dune in the Mandalorian series, he could be right. So thank you, Gina Carano. Thank you for being years lawsuit for the past 4 years. And I per se thank you for being in all of the community, Star Wars community, and everyone at Lucasfilm except for Kathleen Kennedy. He's an idiot. But we say thank you. Thank you for being alive, being for us and ass kicking Star Wars stuff. And when we return to Call Dune, someday the Force might be relive on. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I will mention this video about the mention about Steve Jig and Justin Bell. These check out these two videos are related to that topic by good friends at Steve Jig and Justin Bell. So link in the description. But as for everyone watching this video, please hashtag I stand with Gina Carano. This might be returning acting, but even with people respect for Miss Carano, who knows? When will it happen in 2026 or might appear in the D23 Expo? So thank you for what. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And in the words of the Lion Disney's animated masterpiece, the Lion King, the Queen has returned.